Ricky Pearsall. Let's really dive into the good and not so good, because the Niners have sort of been propping him up and manufacturing his looks, which is fine. You could do that in games. But today finally went one-on-one against Deommodore Lenoir. First time in the one-on-one drill. And Lenoir baptized him. Welcome to the league. Which is fine. I mean, I'm sure Ricky will get him eventually. But Ricky fell on the second rep. He seems to fall a little bit when there's contact. Then, third rep, he just was out. He didn't want the smoke anymore. They didn't want him to try. So Robbie Chosen replaced him and went against Deommodore Lenoir and had like a 40-yard catch up the sideline. Because Robbie Chosen, I mean, they don't call him Chosen for nothing. It's not like he legally changed the name himself. No, they gave him the name Chosen. Yep. So I actually kind of feel like Pearsall and Chosen are very similar in their build and their fluidity and their movement. Obviously, Ricky Pearsall's better, but they're similar. And then later, Ricky, I mean, he had a 50-50 that Siegel broke up. And then he had a 50-50 with Ronaldo Green that he caught, but then he went down and he was holding his arm and he's holding his hand and he's holding his shoulder. And then he came back. There's going to be a question eventually. I swear, man. I'm getting to a question.
Yeah. I think you were going to the good and not so good about him.
Yeah. So my question is, what do you think of Ricky Pearsall?
Dude, I think he was a Deebo replacement, so they didn't think they needed a receiver that needed to step up and be wide receiver one and be able to like beat all these coverages and like be able to like. I think Kyle drafted Ricky to create space for him and not have him do what Brandon does and create space for himself.
That's a great point. That's well put. And sort of be a compliment to Brandon, who's the number one guy.
Yeah. I think it was supposed to be a Ricky BA duo, the same way Deebo and BA works, where Ricky's doing a lot of the deep crossers, a lot of the drags, a lot of slants, a lot of the screens, and then BA's doing his thing and getting open. You know, they're just letting him be on an island and kind of like worry about Ricky, because if you let him catch one of these crossers, he's going to the house, so that BA can get a corner on an island and just go to work.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it. Like, Ricky was never drafted, even though he was a first-round pick, barely. He was never drafted to be the number one guy. He was drafted to be a complement to Ayuk in particular, who is, you know, he's the kind of guy who can beat the best corners in the game. He can win even when the game plan is geared to shutting him down. Yep. And I think the whole idea is if you have McCaffrey and Kittle and Ayuk on a team, then like as a fourth option, Pearsall's going to be pretty deadly because he runs a 4-4. And if you're, you know, if he gets a free release in a good matchup, he's going to burn you for big chunk plays, explosive plays. But if he's your number one or number two option and he's going against Pro Bowl DBs and they're like putting a safety over the top and trying to get physical with them, he's not built for that at all.
Yeah. I agree. I couldn't agree more. I think, he wasn't built to be our wide receiver one. He was drafted to be wide receiver two the entire time. That's why they gave BA a ton of money. That's why they wanted to keep BA around. And that's why they drafted him the year they weren't going to keep paying Deebo. It's just he's had unfortunate. I think he could have been a suitable wide receiver one replacement, but he's missed too much time. And that's the biggest problem. Obviously, the shooting he couldn't, fix, but the hamstring injury last year, the hamstring injury this year, it's really hard to improve when you're not practicing.
Here's what I like about him. He's a much better route runner than Deebo. Yeah. As a Deebo replacement, he can get himself open if you get him a free release. So
I also think he's significantly better at going up for a 50-50 ball. I think
he's got like a 42-inch vert.
Yeah, I think that's another reason they got him is we didn't really have a dedicated 50-50 screw it, he's out down there somewhere. Like Ricky Pearsall.
Oh, that's Jennings. And that's not Ricky. Like Ricky, that's what he failed to bring in today when Siegel broke it up. I'm just saying he can jump very high. He's much more short-handed than Deebo.
He was going up and snagging him at Florida.
Here's what scares me, though. Yeah, he's very short-handed and he can jump. I'm just saying, like, when there's contact, that's the question. Comparing him to Deebo, I think he's much better before the catch.
He's not faster. A gadget guy, though.
Nope. But my question is, after the catch, like, I know if he has a clear line, he's fast. but how much contact can he take? How durable is he? Because Deebo, we know about Deebo, and frankly, Deebo looks pretty good with the Commanders. I have to say, he looks like he's actually in the shape they were talking about him being in the last couple of years. He actually looks like it.
Yeah, I mean,
But that's the Dan Quinn effect for you, you know?
I also think Debo's just like it's a revenge. Debo has always been good when he's pissed. That's the problem, though, is when he is comfortable, he is no longer good. He was, bro, like against the Eagles. My God, that dude tore that team a new one. But then every other game, it's like, where's Debo that played the Eagles and was like slaughtering them? If it's not a revenge game or some sort of motive, like Debo can't self motivate. You have to motivate him. But when you do, like, yeah, he's dangerous. Like when he was playing against the Rams, dude would tear him apart. Playing against Seahawks, he'd tear him apart. Playing against the Eagles, he'd go after him. But it's like if you weren't a revenge game, like the Chiefs never trash talked Deebo. Deebo never really popped off. Like Deebo's like it seemed like he could not self motivate. It's always about revenge.
Oh, what's interesting about Deebo, he ended up being the starting Z for a long time on this team, but they drafted him in round 2 the year after they drafted Dante Pettis, who was really the first guy they had in mind for that starting Z spot. And I think that Pearsall has a lot in common with Pettis. I think he's better. He's faster. He's tougher, for sure. But Pettis is still in the league. Pettis okay. They move similarly. They have that Gumby fluidity. They can beat man-to-man coverage. But with Pettis, I think he heard footsteps. Like he really, sorry if you're watching. I think he really lacked like NFL toughness, although maybe that's changed since he's gone. Pearsall, he got shot. I don't think he's like worried about contact or whatever. I wonder how actually durable he is.
You know who I thought we were gonna go after this offseason as like a depth piece? I thought we were gonna bring back Kendrick Bourne. I know there were some rumors about that, and I think he's injured right now. So I mean, I guess it's a good thing he didn't.
I have a request. Can the Niners stop re-signing players they've already gotten rid of just because they know Kyle's system? Like, stop.
I literally thought like he was gonna happen, but yeah,
you re-signed Jeff Wilson Jr. What's the upside there, man? You already got rid of him 3 years ago because you saw where that was going.
Well,
now you brought him back.
Now we just lost 3 running backs. So
I mean, you're gonna bring him back. Bring back Tevin Coleman.
Is he even playing?
Bring back Jerick McKinnon. Bring back Carlos Hyde.
Dude, yeah, I don't know. I like Ricky, but I don't know. I said it when he got hurt. Like, I kind of feel like the Ricky experiments coming to a close in a way.
I think they're going to throw to him more than they should, and I wonder if he can handle it physically,
I have a feeling
see how long it lasts.
Brandon Ayuk is a very big necessity come this season. I feel like Kyle is going to kiss the ground that guy walks on. Remember what we were saying earlier when Brandon was angry? We're like, he just wants to have his ass kissed. It's going to be kissed. The second he's able to come back, it is going to be kissed. Because he is the only receiver we got worth a damn. I'm going to be honest with you. He's all we got right now. He really is, man. They need him back fast.
M. Dallas says microwavable Factor meals or SD burritos? Factor.
Yeah, Factor meals are, but that's not even an insult to San Diego burritos.
Thank you. Niners forever. Oh, 4 says we traded us for a scrub that was going to be cut. LOL. Yeah, but the Niners got first dibs.
Yeah, we got first dibs, and he's better than like 3 of our receivers that are left.
Yeah. So. Also, the 10-yard split.
And his 10-yard split's incredible. So watch him run a slant, buddy.
Okay, I have a question out of complete left field, and I know we got 2,300 people watching because of this blockbuster trade for wide receiver Sky Moore. If you're just tuning in, the Niners traded for the Sky Moore, the Chiefs receiver who caught no passes last year, but that's not really an accurate representation of what when the Niners get him, it's going to be a whole different. When you put him in Kyle's system, but okay, I have an idea for next year. Not this isn't a this year move.
Oh boy!
But next year, see, here's the thing. I'm going to get to it. The Niners traded those picks for Trey Lance, 3 first-round picks in the 3rd, And while they got a quarterback to replace him, they still haven't replaced those picks. And when they are lacking depth at other positions, you can trace it back directly to that trade. So I'm still looking to replace those picks. And I think I've figured out a way to do it. I think you could take one player on this team and get
No.
75% of that draft capital back. And the way I
No.
would do it is